All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Unfuck Your Co-Parenting with me, Livy North, where we talk all things co-parenting with high conflict narcissistic assholes. And today we are going to be talking about what it is that I do, coaching, and why it's important and what you might actually be able to get out of it. So let's start off with what is parallel parenting and what is a parallel parenting coach anyway? What parallel parenting coaching is a structured approach to co-parenting communication where you and your other parent really stop trying to work together in real time over the phone, in person, where it gets all messy, and instead you communicate through clear boundaries, predictable systems, and neutral channels to the extent possible. The goal is simple. You want to be able to exchange the essential information without emotional engagement. And it's really taking out any ability to either have your ex come after you and try to get you to engage emotionally, have them engage emotionally. And you want to take your emotionally fraught divorce co parenting relationship and turn it into a business interaction. So let's talk a little bit about what coaching is and what it is not, because I think there's a lot of confusion around this. So, coaching is guidance and strategy. So, what I do is I'm going to help you understand not only your partner's pattern, excuse me, your co parent's patterns, but also your own. We're going to help identify where boundaries can be put in, exactly what they are, how to build them, and how to keep them. We're going to look at the ways you respond and how to keep you out of conflict. And I will say this a million and 10 times. You cannot change your co parent. The only thing that you can do is change the way that you react. Very importantly, coaching does not give legal advice. That is your attorney's lane. Often, coaches like myself do work alongside attorneys. Attorneys generally do love us because we help you keep your communications kind of in check, short, to the point, no emotional outbursts, things that judges tend to love. But we are not legal advisors in any way, shape, or form. We're also not therapists. And I really do think that, especially even if you're out of the divorce, you don't necessarily have an attorney anymore. I really think that coaches and therapists are two of the three people you need on your legal team because a therapist is going to help you heal those deep emotional wounds, kind of do a lot of the work into why did you get into this relationship? What are some of the triggers? Like, why are you like this and what can you do to heal? What I'm going to do, or what coaches like me do, is help you act strategically in the moment, in the chaos. Here's a text that you can send. Here are some of the strategies that you can implement in order to control this situation. It's a lot of the logistical here and now practical advice opposed to the deep healing, both of which are important. So you can essentially think of it like this: lawyers protect your legal position, therapists are there to protect your emotional health, coaches protect your day to day reality and give you those tactical tools that you can use today. So, why does parallel coaching exist? I mean, it essentially exists because some people just cannot problem solve together. And we are going to be very generous and say some couples can't problem solve together, but it generally is when one person in this relationship, and I use relationship because you are a co parent, when their communications become manipulative, explosive, one-sided, where you essentially try your hardest to do what is in the best interest of the child or to try to elicit some sort of empathy and understanding from the other person, and it just doesn't work. They explode, they stonewall, they do all of the million and 10 things they probably did in your relationship. That just leads to ineffective communication where you feel out of control, having nervous reactions. Some of my clients have like physical reactions to getting messages where you're unable to effectively be a good parent because you're so busy dealing with the toxicity of your co-parent. And that is why parallel parenting exists. Is it because it although we would all love to be those Instagram couples where, the new stepmom and bio mom are best friends and they do vacations together, that's just not the reality for everyone. And for those of us who find ourselves with a toxic, combative co parent, we need the structure and we need the guidance in order to maintain our own mental health and enable us to protect our children. So, how does it work and what does coaching actually look like? Let me start off by saying coaching works because you're not doing this alone. You're doing this with structure, with strategy, and with consistent support. Somebody to hold you accountable to make sure that you're actually implementing the strategies that we teach. For Unfuck Your Co-Parenting, I offer several levels of coaching. So you can choose one that matches the intensity of your situation. As I said, we work with a lot of lawyers. A lot of lawyers really love us because we are going to help you keep everything in writing, which, of course, documenting is very important. For a lot of my clients, we also have some documentation strategy that we put into practice because this is probably not the last time you're going to court if you're going to court in the near future. So being able to document and keep things organized and structured is really important. We're going to help you learn how to stop negotiating emotionally. And this is, huge. Like you're not don't talk about what's best for the kids. Don't try to use your emotions or an emotional appeal. We're going to help you stay strategic to the point, and this is going to not only help you kind of calm your own nervous system down, but potentially in the future, your ex might actually start also responding a little bit better because the kinds of toxic narcissists that tend to be at the other end do not respond well to emotional arguments. We're going to manage your parenting in parallel instead of entangle yourself with your ex's behavior. It's going to give you a roadmap. So you're not reacting every time they stir the pot. So when someone asks me why they should use a coach, what I essentially say is we're here to protect your mental space. We're here to shut down those circular arguments, reduce chaos, and keep interactions businesslike. Coaching also creates a clear paper trail. It keeps you aligned with your legal obligations without falling into those emotional traps. So, the people who are going to benefit from this most are really, truly what it pains me to say this, but more or less the good parent. And y'all know who you are. If you know, you know. And on the other side, you're going to be dealing with people who gaslight you, who lie, who attack or often escalate small conflicts that don't need to be escalated. These are going to be people who are dealing with just an humongous onslaught of rapid fire messages or long, complicated, complex word salad emails that you are spend hours parsing. It's going to be people who are trying to use co-parenting as a tactic to control you or control the outcome. These are going to be people who try to turn your children against you, who rewrite arguments, deny reality. And again, these are some of the most painful relationships you've probably ever had in your life. And now, instead of what a lot of people get to do, which is just go no contact, you are stuck attempting to raise one or multiple human beings with this person. So, in closing, coaching is not a replacement for a lawyer. It is not a therapist. It's the bridge between the two. We essentially, as coaches, are here to keep you steady, strategic, and protected no matter how unpredictable your other parent is. So, if you are tired of feeling blindsided by your insanely narcissistic, toxic, however you want to call them ex, and you're ready to take back control of your house, your time, your children, your emotional bandwidth, then let's get started. Go check out unfuckyourcoparenting.com and book a strategy session today, whichever one speaks to you. You can also follow me on TikTok at unfuckyourcoparenting for tips, tricks, daily validation, whatever it is that you need, because none of us deserve to go through this shit alone.